Was good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in the building with another banger, man. So before we get into the video, I just first things first gotta go ahead and say thank God for giving me this opportunity. Thank y'all for your support, but also, man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Anybody looking to join the Rich Gang family, I would appreciate it if we can get at least 50 big likes on this video. Be sure to share it with your family and friends. And now let's go ahead and get into the talking of this build. Today, I'm going to be bringing y'all a 6'8 point guard, going to be called a facilitating 3-level 2-way. Going to maintain over 100 badges. Remember, you're also going to be getting +3 badges when it comes down to each season, and also a +4 when it comes down to literally the rebirth that we get from every single player that you're going to be making from here on out. So let's go ahead and get into the making. The first thing that you want to go ahead and do is put this build under the point guard position. Now, when it comes down to the height, the weight, and the wingspan, you can definitely get this build name out of different heights, especially with weights and wingspans, but I'm going to go with 6'8". When it comes down to the weight, this is really all based on your own preference, but I'm telling you, for me, 187 is going to be perfect. And then when it comes down to the wingspan, I decided to go with 7'1", and I'm telling you, all that goes into this build is really going to be made the correct way. So you're not going to have to worry about changing anything up. I'm telling you, this is easily the best version of this build that you're going to be seeing out of the point guard. So what you want to go ahead and do when it comes down to the finishing side of things, just please be sure to follow along with what I show y'all. So with that close shot, I'm going to go with an 80. When it comes down to the driving layup, I'm actually going to go ahead and put this up to literally where we only are going to need it to be. So 80 to 82 is going to be perfect. Then when it comes down to that driving dunk, y'all already know that we're going to get the contact dunks on this build. So go ahead and put the driving dunk maxed out to a 92. And right here, you're actually going to be able to unlock some really solid badges when it comes down to this build. Being 6'8", you're going to be much taller than a lot of guards. So just something to take into consideration. Now, let's go ahead and get into the shooting. I'm going to go ahead and start it off with the mid-range. We're going to go with an 87 right here. 3-point shot, going to go all the way up to an 83. And then when it comes down to the free throw, this is all based on your own preference. But I want to be able to take this build into any game mode, and I'm going to go with the free throw of 82. As you can see, we're going to be able to get 28 badges right here. And honestly, the ones that we do get are really solid all around. Let's go ahead and move on to the playmaking now. First, we're going to go ahead and mess with that pass accuracy. We're going to go ahead and put this to an 86. When it comes down to the ball handle, I'm going to go ahead and put this to an 81. And when it comes down to the speed with ball, I'm going to go with a 75. And as you can see, we end up unlocking 25 playmaking badges. Now, I'm telling you, the builds as well as the badge setups only get better on this channel. So man, I would appreciate it if y'all just went ahead and hit that like button as well as hit that subscribe button. I would love for y'all to join the Rich Gang family, and that is all you need to do. So now let's go ahead and get into the defensive end. We're going to go with the perimeter defense maxed out of 89. Steal, going to be an 82. When it comes down to the block, I'm going to put this to an 83. And then as for the rebounding on this build, offensive, I'm going to go with a 74. But when it comes down to the defensive, I really decided the best for this specific build is going to be an 83. And right there, we're going to be able to get 26 defensive badges. So you can really see what you get out of this build. I'm telling you, when I bring y'all these builds, I'm really going back and forth, trying to make sure that I give y'all the best possible badge counts, but also when it comes down to the animations that you'll be able to unlock, everything that really goes into it, and more so, even importantly, the physicals. So that's the next thing we're actually going to go ahead and get right into. Y'all most definitely do not want to make a build that is not going to have any good physicals. That is easily one of the key factors of every single build that you're going to be seeing. So when it comes down to the speed, go ahead and put this to an 80 maxed out. When it comes down to the acceleration, now you can honestly go ahead and take a few ticks off of anywhere of this build to change it up based on your own preference if you see something different that you want to go with. But I'm telling you, like I said earlier, the perfect way to make it is exactly how I'm showing y'all. When it comes down to the vertical, this is another crucial thing about this build. Go ahead and put that to an 80, and that is going to allow us to get the contact dunks that we want. Then when it comes down to the stamina, we're going to be able to fill this up to a perfect 90. And as you can see, this is pretty much what the build is going to be looking like. Once you go ahead and finish it off with a 99 overall, you're going to end up with the 26 defensive badges that we get, also 25 playmaking, and I'm telling you, in each of these categories, the wealth is pretty solid. All around, I can say this is easily a really nice build. When it comes down to the shooting, you get 28, and honestly, you're not going to lack anything when it comes down to the offensive end of this build, more so even the defensive end. Now, when it comes down to the finishing, you get 21 badges, but honestly, with the contact dunks, really going to make this much more of a lethal build. Now, let's go ahead and check out the takeovers that we get. As you can see, we get the slashing, also going to be able to maintain the shot creating takeovers. From there, this really comes down to how you see it, but I'm telling you, even the sharpshooting is one that you really need to consider. And last but not least, of course, this is a two-way build. We're going to be able to get the lockdown takeover. So all of these are some really good options to pick from, but I have to go ahead and be real with y'all. The ones that I would really consider first are going to be the shot creating takeover, and then from there, what I would go ahead and do is that you really need to consider what these builds are going to be looking like when you end up picking a certain takeover. So for me, I would have to say ankle breaking shots is going to be the first one that I want to go with, and then from there, also I want to go ahead and add in the lockdown is definitely going to help you out. So that is the one that I would go with. Again, this is all based on my preference, so if you feel like going with anything else other than what I show y'all, just go ahead and do it, but just be sure to make the build exactly as I'm bringing it. And as y'all can see, we have made the first ever point guard facilitating 3-level two-way with over 100 badges when it's all said and done. And also, I love the comparisons of LaMelo as well as Lonzo Ball. If Jello was in the NBA right now, he would definitely be that third comparison. But now, let's just go ahead and take a look at what this build is going to be looking like once you add everything up. So remember, we get a +8 regardless. We're going to be running with teammates that have floor general on Hall of Fame as well as defensive leader. And then also you're going to be buying boost, which is another +4. So you get +8. Then a +10 from your takeover that you did pick. So a +10 to our shooting as well as the defensive end. And pretty much in takeover, this is what the stats are going to be looking like. You're going to have a 99 mid-range shot, 3-pointer, and a free throw, all from that shot creating takeover. Then when it comes down to the defensive end, you're going to be able to get a 99 perimeter defense, 99 steal, block, defensive rebound, and that offensive rebound will be in the 90s as well. Let's just go ahead and say you did pick the slashing takeover. If you made this build differently, you're going to be able to really get a 99 close shot, driving layup, and even a driving dunk. I would not want y'all to pick a different takeover and not know what it's going to do when it actually affects the build that you make. So that is why I always say just please be sure to add up the stats, know what you're getting yourself into, because these builds are much better than what they are showing on paper, especially more even when it comes down to being in takeover. But now we're going to go ahead and get into the breakdown of these badges to end it off. When it comes to me, I'm going to go with Hall of Fame Slithery Finisher, Gold Posterizer, Hall of Fame Limitless Takeoff, as well as Silver Fearless Finisher. Then from there, another one that I really like is going to be Unstrippable on Bronze. That is just one way that I would go about it. Again, there's multiple ways that you can go about this setup. But now, let's just go ahead and get into the shooting. For me, I would have to say that one of the more important badges for this build is going to be Corner Specialist. Now, from there, of course, you want to go ahead and throw in blinders, but I'm going to save that for the end. We still got 24 more badges that we're going to be able to work with. So, I'm going to go with Green Machine. Also, you can go with bronze or gold. It really comes down to your own preference. But for me, I'm going to leave it on gold. Also, Silver Deadeye, Gold Hot Zone Hunter, then also Hall of Fame Sniper. Now, we got 7 more remaining badges. Just know this is all really based on how you want to go about it. But for me, I would have to say that with these last 7, you can really spread the wealth if you wanted to go about it that way. Or you can go ahead and pick another Hall of Fame badge and then use whatever is left over wherever you feel favorable to. For me, I'm going to go with the blinders as well as catch and shoot. And then for the last one, I would go with is going to be Stop and Pop. Now let's go ahead and move on to the playmaking. We got 25 badges that we're going to be able to work with. So I'm going to go ahead and start it off with Bronze Bullet Passer, also Silver Hyperdrive, as well as Silver Quick First Step. Now, we have 18 more remaining badges that we're going to be able to work with. I'm going to go ahead and throw in tight handles on gold, 13 from here. So again, just please be sure to be safe with the setup that you're running. I'm also going to go ahead and add in triple threat juke, bailout, and then I'm going to go ahead and say silver handles for days as well as silver unpluckable. Now, this is just the way that I would go about things. Remember, you can always change it if you like something better. But let's go ahead and get into the defense. I'm going to go with gold chase down artist, Hall of Fame hustler, silver, pickpocket, and rim protector. You cannot forget about gold clamps, gold intimidator, and then silver rebound chaser. And this is really something of the final setup that I would go with, but actually, I would really consider dropping down pickpocket or any other badge of your choice, and then you could really upgrade other badges in this area. But honestly, either way, this is a really good setup to go with. So pretty much, you're going to be ending it off with 26 defensive badges. This is solid, especially for this kind of build. You get everything that you want out of it when it comes down to the defensive end. So I would say you really don't have to worry about anything, especially more so because this build has a lot of flexibility in each and every one of these categories. So like I said, you get 26 defensive badges, 25 playmaking, then when you get into the shooting, we get 28, and then finally for the finishing, we get 21. Again, man, I just gotta say thank y'all for your support. I just truly want you to know that I love y'all. I thank y'all and I appreciate y'all. Thank God for this opportunity. And man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Anybody looking to join the Rich Gang family, RGF, just be sure to go ahead and turn on post notifications, but also hit that like button, y'all. I would appreciate it if we can get 50 likes at least on this video. Be sure to share it with your family and friends. And last but not least, with all that being said, I got one last thing to say. Thank God and Rich out.